us up for questions.
Hats off to West Virginia. Defensively in the first half, that was a phenomenal job on their part. They turned us over. They got us out of what we were doing, and to them, they deserve the credit, all the credit for that.
So, Coach, then that stretch in the first half when they went on their long run, you said defense was sort of what got them going. What in particular did they take you out of? What did you want to do? What couldn't you do?
You can't run offense if you turn the basketball over, and they turned us over. It's very simple. It's a simple game. If you give the other team more possessions than you, right, you're not going to win the game. And our guys weren't strong with the ball. They had great hands in ball screens. They had great hands when guarding the ball. They had deflections, and they turned those into turnovers and points. Quite honestly, we didn't turn our turnovers. We turned them over 15 times, and we got 12 points out of it. They got 20 points out of our 17. I mean, you just look across the stat sheet and you look at their offensive rebounding rate and what they turned into second chance points, and their turnovers, what they turned into points. You can't win in the Big 12. You can't win anywhere playing that way. And give them credit, man. They were very good in the first half.
You guys came alive in that second half and really forced WVU into trouble. What do you think was the shift for that?
We played like a basketball team. In the first half, we didn't play together. We had some pointing of fingers. We had some crying and moaning because our shots don't go in, right? And you can't allow missed shots to affect you on the defensive end. Not against good basketball teams. And you guys here at West Virginia, y'all have a good basketball team.
Coach, how do you prepare for the West Virginia with the uncertainty surrounding DeVries and Hansberry, and just kind of curious, mixing up personnel?
It is what it is. You look at who's available and you worry about them. I mean, obviously you always have to account for DeVries, but you have to count for Hansberry, but if they play, they play, and if they don't, they don't. I mean, our loss today had nothing to do with DeVries or Hansberry. Our loss had to do with the fact that the entire team of West Virginia was very connected. They played very hard. They played very well together, and we did not, especially in the first half.
You and Coach DeVries coached together at Creighton. What's it like seeing him on the opposite side now as your opponent?
I'm proud of him. I'm happy for him. I'm proud of him. No matter wins or losses, we're always going to be friends. I expect great things from him. I'm sure he thinks the same and feels the same way about me and my family. So, yeah, I've never been a hater in my life, man. I want him to succeed except when we play one another. I want to kick his you-know-what.
Does it seem odd, though? I mean, a couple young guys at Creighton just a couple minutes ago, and all of a sudden here you are, head coach of the Power.
Your math's not very good because ain't neither one of us young, pal. I mean, this is 29 years for me and probably 25 for him. But yeah, no, I mean, we started in 2010 together in the Missouri Valley and went from the Missouri Valley to the Big East. And that program, I mean, he's got to be thrilled to death and proud to death, extremely proud of the fact of where it is, as am I. I mean, we helped. We were part of that group that helped that program move to the next level and is now playing at a very, very high level. So, yeah, you take pride in all of that stuff, but it doesn't make it feel any better when you get your butt beat today.
Steve, is there anything about how they defend on the three-point line that got us?
I'll have to watch the tape before I give you that answer. I just think that they're very sound. They're very aggressive, and they're not aggressive in that they're out denying a lot of passes because they sit in there in those gaps pretty well. But when you try to attack those gaps and you haven't reversed the ball and you haven't gotten them into a rotation, you're asking for trouble because they're going to attack the ball. They've got great hands. They've got great instincts. They've got several guys with plus length. Right? I mean, Sincere Harris, I don't know how many deflections or times he raked that ball or what's the big kid's name, Andre? I mean, we're going into those handoffs and he's got his hand in there and he's ripping it out. And part of that is our own fault for not being tough and strong with the ball, and part of that is great defense on their part and being well coached.
Anything else for Coach Lutz?
Coach, your guys' defensive style with the hard hedging, trapping, and sometimes just even running two guys out there at the point guard, is that game planning against small, or was that just?
Well, I mean, you guys obviously cover West Virginia. You know his usage rate, right? You got to make some other people score, right? And in the second half, He scored, 6 or 8 points in the second half. He made obviously big one late. It's free throws, but you gotta force some other guys to score. I mean, Sincere Harris, he's 0 for 28 coming in this game. He rang the bell in the first half. I mean, but they deserve that because they played hard. When you play hard, the basketball gods reward you.
Thanks, guys.